Oprah Winfrey was born on January 29, 1954, in the small rural town of Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Life there was simple, quiet, and often difficult for families who struggled to make ends meet. Oprah's early years were spent with her grandmother on a modest farm where resources were limited but lessons were strong. She wore homemade clothes and helped with chores, yet her grandmother also introduced her to something powerful: reading. By the age of 3, Oprah was already learning from the Bible and practicing speaking aloud in church. Those early moments planted the seeds of confidence and expression that would later define her career. Though the environment was challenging, it also shaped her resilience. Long before the world knew her name, a young girl in Mississippi was discovering the strength of her voice, finding strength in words and learning. From an early age, Oprah showed a remarkable love for language and storytelling. Books became her escape and her inspiration. Teachers quickly noticed her ability to read, speak, and express ideas beyond what most children her age could do. School became the one place where she felt truly seen. While many students simply attended classes, Oprah embraced every opportunity to read aloud, perform, and participate in discussions. Her gift for communication began shining through debates, classroom presentations, and church recitations. Those experiences helped her realize that words carried power. They could inform, comfort, and connect people. Even when life outside the classroom felt uncertain, education gave her direction and purpose. It was through books and speaking that Oprah began to imagine a future beyond the small town where she grew up. A turning point toward opportunity. As Oprah grew older, life brought new changes and challenges, but it also introduced opportunities that would shape her future. Eventually, she moved to Nashville, Tennessee, to live with her father, Vernon Winfrey. Vernon believed strongly in discipline, education, and responsibility. In his home, there were clear expectations: reading regularly, focusing on schoolwork, and working toward goals. While the environment was strict, it also provided stability and guidance. Under his influence, Oprah began excelling academically and gaining confidence in public speaking. She joined debate teams and drama clubs, discovering how much she enjoyed engaging an audience. Those structured years gave her the foundation she needed to move forward. For the first time, her talent and determination began opening doors that once seemed impossible. Discovering a voice on the airwaves. At just 16 years old, Oprah entered a local speaking competition sponsored by a radio station. Her natural presence and confidence won the contest, and the prize included a part-time job at the station. Suddenly, she found herself sitting behind a microphone, reading the news to listeners across Nashville. It was a remarkable experience for a teenager. Broadcasting allowed her to combine everything she loved: storytelling, communication, and connecting with people. The radio job also introduced her to the professional world of media, where she learned about timing, tone, and audience engagement. Soon after, she received a scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied speech and communications. While balancing college and broadcasting, Oprah realized that media could become more than a job. It could become her life's path. Breaking barriers in television. In 1973, Oprah achieved a milestone when she became the youngest and first Black female news anchor at WTVF. The achievement was groundbreaking, especially during a time when television newsrooms offered few opportunities to women of color. Though the position brought recognition, it also brought pressure. Television journalism required a formal and detached style, which sometimes clashed with Oprah's naturally warm and emotional approach. She cared deeply about the stories she covered and felt connected to the people involved. Eventually, she moved to Baltimore, Maryland, to work at WJZ-TV. While the transition was challenging, it introduced her to daytime talk programming, a format where her empathy and authenticity would soon become her greatest strengths. The talk show that changed television. Oprah's career reached a turning point in 1984 when she moved to Chicago to host a struggling morning program called AM Chicago. Within months, her relatable style transformed the show into the highest-rated program in its time slot. Her approach was different from traditional hosts. Instead of maintaining distance, Oprah shared emotions, listened deeply, and connected with guests on a personal level. Viewers felt they were part of a genuine conversation rather than a scripted broadcast. In 1986, the show was renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show and launched nationally. It quickly became the most influential talk show in America, eventually running for 25 years. Through honest conversations about life, relationships, and growth, Oprah built trust with millions of viewers. Building an unmatched media empire's success on television allowed Oprah to expand beyond hosting. In 1986, she founded Harpo Productions, becoming one of the first television personalities to own her own production company. This decision changed the balance of power in entertainment, giving her control over the content she created. Harpo produced television shows, films, and other media projects that reached audiences worldwide. Later, Oprah launched the Oprah magazine, which quickly became one of the most successful magazines of its kind. Her influence extended far beyond entertainment. When she recommended books, they often became instant bestsellers. By the early 2000s, Oprah had become one of the most powerful figures in media and business, proving that creativity combined with ownership could build an extraordinary legacy. A life of influence and responsibility. With fame came immense influence. Oprah's words could spark national conversations, inspire readers, and bring attention to important social issues. Her platform allowed her to highlight topics that many people rarely discussed publicly, encouraging empathy and understanding. Political leaders, authors, and activists recognized the reach of her audience. The phrase, "the Oprah effect," became widely known, describing how her support could transform careers, books, and ideas overnight. Despite her busy schedule, Oprah continued to focus on meaningful storytelling and personal growth. She often reminded viewers that success was not only about achievement, but also about purpose. Her ability to balance empathy with authority made her a unique voice in modern media. Giving back and creating opportunity. Philanthropy became a central part of Oprah's mission. Over the years, she donated hundreds of millions of dollars to educational programs, scholarships, and humanitarian initiatives. One of her most meaningful projects was the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, created to provide education and opportunities for talented young women. The school represented Oprah's belief that education could transform lives just as it had transformed her own. She also supported disaster relief efforts, community programs, and historically Black colleges and universities. Through these initiatives, Oprah extended her influence beyond television and business, focusing on creating pathways for future generations. Her goal was not just success, but impact, a legacy that inspires millions. Today, Oprah Winfrey's story stands as one of the most remarkable journeys in modern media history. From a modest childhood in rural Mississippi to becoming a global icon, she built a life defined by resilience, curiosity, and determination. Her career reshaped television, empowered audiences, and encouraged honest conversations about personal growth. Yet, perhaps her greatest legacy is the reminder that circumstances do not define destiny. Through persistence, education, and belief in one's voice, it is possible to create change, not only for oneself, but also for others. Oprah's journey continues to inspire people across generations, proving that influence is not just about fame. It is about using your platform to uplift, connect, and inspire the world.